Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Tarot from the Crypt and I am Lotus God Sage, your Crypt Keeper. And I welcome you guys back here on this good Sunday, July 26, 2020. I found myself with some free time, so I figured, hey, why not come on and kick out an Aries read. I took a nice little old shower. You know, any bath on a Sunday is a spiritual bath, so I hope you guys are out there keeping in mind your spiritual cleansing and all your other necessities required for your growth and your overall spiritual well-being. But I'm gonna go ahead and pour me up a little bit of my cup right here, and we'll kick this Aries read off. This is the channel's third video, and I appreciate you guys for checking it out, coming back, whatever course through time you're taking on your route to view this video. I thank you for stopping here for whatever amount of time you do. I guess I'll start it off with another light. Lighting Palo Santo, that is. Cleanse the ether a little bit. Get some of that predominantly Leo energy out of the way. Not that that's a bad thing, just I'd like to make room for you guys. The Aries, that is. So yeah, we're gonna do a quick shuffles. Across all three decks. This is the Animal Spirit deck, the Wood Tarot deck, and my Crypt deck. The Crypt deck was a deck that I was gonna retire, but you know, it ultimately became a part of one of the many themes that brought this channel about. Sorry if the scratching comes through too clearly. Try to keep that in mind. I am on a canvas surface. Cards stiff because they're new, cards stiff because they're old, but work with what you got. So Aries, let's start with a 3-card pull from the wood. Get a general intuitive read as to what you guys have going on with you lately. And the first card we have here is the King of Stones, the King of Pentacles in reverse. Next card we have here the and I'll pull the King back in, the Four of Stones, the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So far, 2 pentacles. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the print until it's close. And we'll see what these are. The 5 of bows in reverse. I actually like this card because of the know what you call it, the inlay into the grass there. It's actually referencing a real inlay in the mountain about a story. It's actually a funny story. I formed myself some personal attachment to it over my life, and dressing up what I was going on at a particular time. But it's a very neat story about a giant and a witch. I don't think there's a well in the story, but it's been years since I've actually thought about it, and this is bringing it back to the surface. But basically, ultimately, the witch tricks the giant in some form or fashion. I think it has to do with blood from a stone, or accomplishing a particular task. But she winds up tricking him and ultimately comes up on top in the situation. And there's a deep sexual undertone and maybe even an overlay to the story. It's gonna have to come back to me, because at the moment I'm actually trying to get deep into the essence of what's going on with you Aries guys here. So let's go back. And I'm sorry if I didn't give any straightforward descriptions. The King of Stones, also the King of Pentacles. As you can see here, we have a wolf howling at the moon in the deep winter night. Kings themselves are very strong, very I don't want to say situated, but having a good foundation to them. They are very masculine father figures. They are very good providers. And the King of Stones or Pentacles themselves, relating to endeavors or worldly issues or materialistic things altogether. So we'll keep the reverse in that mind, because it's not necessarily bad, but there's to say that there's something here that needs attention, and it'll further reveal itself over the culmination of the read with the information. But for what I'm getting here, there's a digression, because we go from the King to the 4. The King, a very strong foundation, and 4s being about foundations, whether within teamwork, whether within relationships, whether within establishing self-identity. It's the root work, the base work that goes into it, the structure that is looked at as far as the strength component. So also here we have the 4 stones. We have a little Bambi-esque character under 4 stones. The 4th stone being the roof, the other 3 being pillars. It's on the soft grass. It seems to be comforted in this little solace, this little almost island-esque habitat it has here. It kind of reminds me of a mirage, because here in the background we have more, desert-like, dried out, infertile soil with trees with no leaves. But here's here the fawn is, relaxed, comforted, not even worrying about the desolation of the past or the lack thereof that's behind them. So we go from the king of stones, the king of pentacles, to the four stones, the four pentacles, to the five of bows. Try to get that back in focus. Sorry, I almost got lost in the card again. And another part of the story, which is what I'm laughing at, I'm a male, I'm sorry. I've spent my whole life telling private part jokes and making those references. So to actually see a phallus just smack dab on the card on the chest, almost making a face of its own, is kind of funny to me. But the five of bows, is about, bows being wands. In this sense, the five of wands is what this card ultimately is. And it's about, in a sense, having, not necessarily having a choice to make, but from the foundation of fours, you come into I don't want to say unstable, but it almost comes off as feeling, needs to be described that way. It's just an active scene. It's like, coming out of the house into, busy bustling streets, or, leaving the suburbs to go to the city. There's just more going on. And with that more comes more choices, more options. And we see here that of the five wands, the five bows, the archer has chosen one. And I would like to say he's comfortable. He's not necessarily adamant, but he's secure in that choice of choosing the bow amongst the others. But over here, he also still has a club, and that club is more so in a striking position than the bow is. He's almost using the bow as a shield, and maybe in two dimensions that works out, but in a three-dimensional plane, so to say, even though I only believe in one dimension with three coordinates of momentum, but it's another story. But it's good when the when your problems are coming at you from a straight and narrow source. But when the source of problems becomes broad, this guy's gonna have problems using this as a shield, because as you can see, it's only a stick with a curve in it. But let's actually pull one from the animal spirit deck and one from the crypt deck to further expound upon each card. And I'll also take a sip in the meantime. Speaking of time, let's see what we're working with here.